Alright, hopping back into Cities XL 2012 here, because when I try to load my current city in the Platinum version, it just crashes. There's obviously a lot of buildings that need to go if I want to actually load that up, and I don't think it's really worth it. Not from what I've seen so far. Maybe, I don't know, who knows, we'll do it in the future. But I have received a few interesting comments about this area in particular. Well, and this one. Too much space, I need to put stuff there, and maybe I will. But here, again, we're having the same problem over and over and over again. Too much space, too much space, too much space. You need to really, bring these buildings together, because it's spread way too far out. Alright, I can do that. I can do that. Your wish, sirs, is my command. Commencing Operation Building closer together. Alright, so when we are here and commencing our operation, we must first, of course, get rid of all of the old things, which is what you are seeing now, sped up many times. Gotta get rid of everything that we previously had in our downtown. And thanks to the handy deletion tools that we have available to us, it's easy peasy. And actually, kind of fun, really. I mean, just going through and getting rid of everything. There's something, I don't know, just enjoyable about it. Just clicking and seeing all those little red things disappear. Oh, so much fun. Missed a couple, but that's okay. Now, you might notice a little problem with what I'm doing, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. It'll become apparent really soon. But now that we have gotten rid of the old, we have to figure out what we're going to do with the new. And it shouldn't really surprise anyone what I'm doing. I've done something similar to this before, but when I did that, I didn't show everything. I kind of cut out bits. I decided that I was going to leave everything into how I'm building this, and just, speed up all the frames. Not sure if I'm going to do this again. A lot of post-work goes involved into doing something like that. But, I don't know, I hadn't done it in a while, and it's kind of fun, so whatever. Essentially, I'm using these large, high-density buildings as just a nice little marker, a measuring tool, if you will. You can see that I have a mass citizen exodus running out of my city. That kind of happens when you bulldoze every one of their homes. These little tabs are just going to mark where the roads are going to connect together. Counting down to about the center of things, getting rid of the middle. That way I can put through a nice central little road there. I figured 2 large avenues here, just to make certain it can handle all of the traffic. I have a hunch this is a really bad idea, because that center road might get overwhelmed, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I hope it doesn't. But, I haven't really done this before. I have a hunch it's a bad idea, and this is going to come back and bite me, but that's okay. We don't care. But you can see that doing it this way, everything's all nice and measured out. I can fit one building neatly between everything. It looks cool on paper, anyway. On paper, it looks freaking awesome. But, yeah, whether the traffic's gonna kill us later, remains to be seen. If it does, I can just go back and do this again, but slightly varied. Different variation of it. And, that'll be fine too. Right here I'm just fiddling around, trying to get the smallest little road peeking out of there. The larger the road, it kind of affects the curve that I'm going to be creating. So you want it as small as humanly possible. And occasionally, the grid system just kind of messes with you. Creates it larger than you might want. Rather. But alright, trim off the edge of the building, switch over to curved roads, decide which road you want to go with. And there's the problem in a nutshell. You can see that my elites are not happy. You can also see that some video got happily cut out of the video, because apparently I forgot to add that little section in. Oh well, who cares? Suffice it to say, you can tell what I did. I just connected up all the roads. Easy peasy. Leaving a bit of a middle bit. In that middle bit, I'm going to kind of eyeball. This is not precise at all, but just seeing where everything is. That way I can create a nice little center ring around the middle of where everything is. My elites are only 18% satisfied because they have no way to get out. If this was SimCity, all of those buildings would be abandoned, but it's not, so they're still there. They're just gonna be unhappy. So, screw them. What are they gonna do? Nothing, because they're not programmed to do anything. They can't. They have no power in this game. They're just gonna sit there and be red. But who cares? Some of us like the color red, so that's good. If you like the color red, do that to your citizens. Because you'll find red citizens everywhere. And they'll be happy. They'll be like, that's pretty, I like it, I want more of it. And now you know how to get that. So, good on me. I'm given the learnings. But yeah, here I'm doing very, very crude measuring and estimating where about the middle is. I could have spent a little bit more time to get it exact. But even though it's like only 5 minutes here, it was like 20 minutes while I was actually doing this, and I was getting a little bit tired of it. But you can see I've connected everything up. I wanted this to go into an oval shape instead of more of a circle, which is why you might notice that it's not the same on both sides. Not really sure I like the result, but I'm going to go with it anyway. Those of you who have OCD, you're going to look at this and be like, oh my god, that's not a perfect circle. You're right, it's supposed to be more of an oval. Oh well, oh well. Who cares? Who cares? It's okay. It's okay. Alright, so now it's time to start zoning in our wonderful area. After we put in a few more roads, because things are a little bit too empty and we'd get disgusting little zones that are too large. And that was the whole point of this, to undo all of that and make things a little bit less cramped. Now we get to see how well that plan worked out. And immediately you can see, due to my awesome not measuring correctly, we've got zones entirely too large still. But not to worry, we can work with this. All we need to do is take a little bit of a small avenue and cut these little guys in half. Going back to the old measuring tools. The only measuring tools that we have in the friggin' game. Again, not exact. It's not exact at all. But hey, who cares, right? Who cares? It's close. It's close-ish, right? It's almost accurate. And that's really what's important. Well, it shouldn't look too off. But yeah, just measuring 4 squares, that's about the middle, 4 squares, about the middle, 4 squares, about the middle. And once we're all done with that, we should have a pretty good idea where we should slice these zones in half. I'm only cutting through the one zone, because I figure at this point that the next ring is going to be fine and not give us any problems. So we'll get to see if that's correct or not. Place your bets on whether I know what I am talking about or not. And again, those of you who have ADD might notice that maybe things aren't exactly perfect. But whatever. Doesn't matter at all. It looks good enough. It's just for, like, you know, a mini downtown-ish area for medium density stuff. And again, if you do not like how large the zones are still, I'm sorry about that. I don't think I'm going to be redoing this. can see there I was wrong. My inner zone, my inner circle is not where it needs to be, but I just ignore it for the moment and zone some low, or not low density, low wealth, medium density, and some medium, no, wealth, frack. Low, unskilled, and medium skilled, or regular skilled. Frack, I don't remember the terms of this game anymore. I'm sorry. But yes, our unskilled and skilled workers are going in here. Still haven't hooked up our executives, so they are still happily pissed off. You can see their little red icon on the top there. Oh well, we'll deal with them eventually. But I do like how this turns out overall. I mean, it looks a little bit prettier. I am not using the same zone for my main downtown with all my high density, I can tell you that right now. So you can look forward to a completely different building style there when it's time to do that. But this little circle, yeah, I was going to avoid them in my city, but, you know, why not? It fits. This, however, doesn't fit. It's entirely too large and I have to place it by hand. That's unfortunate, but hey, what can you do? I tried to make it look like it was actually placed normally, but I kind of fail. I'm not really proud of these particular areas. Nah, oh well. But, time for civics. Sorry about the black screen there. Time to place our civics, our high schools, our regular schools, our medium schools, our police and fire, and of course we're going to be getting into some retail and some leisure, things of that sort. Filling it in, making all the citizens happy, putting them in the spaces that I happily provided that of course are going to get completely overwhelmed. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for all of this to just come crashing down as those intersections between the two large avenues are just going to explode at the seams. But hey, we have like over 20 million saved up, so we can do whatever we want. It's all good. It's all good. But one thing we really need to do is connect up our executives. I mean, they've been patiently waiting. So, gotta do that in a way that doesn't look completely derpy. So I hit upon the idea of these little avenues branching out left and right. I thought maybe that would look kind of cool. I think I'm completely wrong, and I spent an awful lot of time getting it nice and wrong, but oh well. They're connected, and that's the important thing. That is the important thing. But by doing this, we create another zone, and in that zone, we'll need to put more people. So it kind of works a little bit, you know? A little bit, maybe? Maybe a little bit, just a little. But there we have it, our nicely redone area. I hope it's not as spread out and a little bit more compact. So there you go. I do listen to you guys.